So welcome to another roundup of matches played in the Barclays Premier League. This is week 11 and I'm going to cover all the Saturday matches, 4 of them. I'm unable to cover the Friday match, which involved Newcastle and Aston Villa at Villa Park. The match was actually postponed because of the number of new COVID positive tests that took place in Newcastle, particularly at their training ground, and so they asked that the match could be postponed, which was agreed to, and Villa were quite happy with that as well. So no result down there. So let's move then on to the first of Saturday's matches, and it was played at Turf Moor. Burnley second to bottom against Everton, who have stumbled of late. In fact, only one win in the last 7 after that impressive start that took them to the top of the league. Let's have a look at the team news then. Keane's captain now for Everton, worth a note. Dana, he wasn't available. Delph deputising at left back. I haven't seen him for a long time, but anyway, he was in. The rest of the side looked at full strength. Godfrey playing at right back, still no Coleman. For Burnley, Barnes was on the bench and Rodriguez up front with Wood, and me, of course, now back alongside Tarkowski in the heart of the defence. Gareth Southwaite was in evidence. He was having a good look at the 2 goalkeepers who are vying for the #1 spot for England, Pickford in Everton's goal and Nick Pope in Burnley's. And I have to say that both of them performed pretty well. But let's get into the action. A dreadful start for Everton, 2 minutes. Robbie Brady, he managed to capitalise on a loss of possession by Alan, and his strike from the edge of the box whistled past Pickford's right corner into the goal. The England keeper not at fault, really. It was a very accurate shot. So 1-0 to Burnley. 12 minutes, Godfrey managed to get a crucial foot to deny Burnley a second, and they were certainly on top at that point. Loughton's, though, up the other end, managed to clear from Lewin's boot. Lewin's boot caused the goalkeeper, Pope, to save, and then Loughton cleared that away after good work by Iwobi. 22 minutes, Brownhill, shot from distance, was just wide of the post. And then we lost Delph with a hamstring problem. He is certainly suffering from a lot of injuries. He looked pretty miserable as he came off, and he was replaced by Gomez. On 35 minutes, the Richarlison shot was well wide, poor effort really. And then Pickford managed to block an effort from Wood, who was put through. The Everton defence not looking that assured, it has to be said. But on into added time, on 47 minutes, Burnley lost possession just inside their own half, and Richarlison got on his bike and he rushed down the left, and his sharp cross was met by Lewin, who got in front of the defender, and it was a pretty assured touch and went past the keeper. And so that was 1-1 at the break. Into the second half then, Loughton blocks a Gomez shot on 46 minutes, and it looked like it was going in. A nice raid on 50 minutes down the right by Iwobi. I do like Iwobi. He plays some attractive football. But when he found Hammers, his effort was wide. His effort was curled round the post by Pope. It was a pretty good shot. 75 minutes, Barnes came on for Rodriguez to reunite his partnership with Wood. Following a free kick, Brownlow's shot was deflected wide. And then up to 82 minutes, a corner, me headed the goal ballwards, but Wood got a touch, but Pickford was outstanding, pushing it wide. Sigurdsson came on for the last 10 minutes, and he forced a save from Poke with his leg. And then on added time, this McNeil scuffed the shot after a ball broke to him in the box. So basically, both sides probably not happy with a point, but that's the way it finished. Final score at Turf Moor: Burnley 1, Everton 1. So too, West Ham versus Manchester United at the London Stadium. There are two matches in London this Saturday, and they both had supporters. 2,000 was the max. But this is the first time that supporters have been watching live games since the COVID crisis emerged back in March. So there was a lot of enthusiasm and excitement around for the visit of Manchester United, as always. Haller was back up front for Antonio, who's got a recurrence of his hamstring problem. For the Reds, two changes. Henderson was in for De Gea, and Cavani was up front. And Pogba and Martial restored for the Reds as well. The early action, and it has to be said that it was dominated by West Ham. Bowen had a goal ruled out for offside. He also had an effort that went close. Fornals hit a post, and they were really dominating. And then it was no surprise that on 38 minutes from a corner, a Rice's header found Souček, and he completed the attacking move, and it was in the back of the net. The defence, well, they seemed to be ball watching, but it was 1-0 for West Ham. Haller then forced a good stop from Henderson, and Martial, his effort a minute before the break, brought Fabianski into the action. So West Ham, good value really for being 1-0 up. Into the second half, Bowen had a half chance, McTominay hit the side necking, and then a really audacious clearance from Henderson on 65 minutes, and he managed to find Bruno Fernandes on the right, charged into the half, and his layback found Pogba on the edge of the area, who hit an absolutely superb strike, and it whistled past the keeper. Fabianski had absolutely no chance, and that was the equaliser. VAR had a look at it, and there was a suggestion that the ball cleared by Henderson had bent out of play and then back into play, and it has to be said, it looked the case, and it was a really irritated Moyes at full time, claiming that the game should have been stopped and that the goal shouldn't have happened. But anyway, VAR didn't overturn. It was 1-1, and that proved to be the touch paper to set United off with a really inspired piece of play. 3 minutes later, a great piece of work on the right, and the ball was put through to Greenwood, and Greenwood, beautiful control, turned, did a sort of 360 turn and hit the ball on his left foot, and it went in the corner, and that was United 2-1 up. And then Mata had come on, and he was instrumental in feeding the ball out to Rashford with a great run, a great pass through, and Rashford managed to clip it over the advancing Fabianski one-on-one, and all of a sudden United were 3-1 up. There was a late effort for Creswell on 83, a free kick, but Henderson managed to push it wide. And an inspired piece of substitution by Solskjaer, it has to be said, bringing on both Fernandes and Mata, and did the job. So final score then at the London Stadium was West Ham 1, Manchester United 3. So game 3 then on this Saturday, and it was at Stamford Bridge. Once again, 2,000 people watching Chelsea's match with Leeds United. Let's have the teams first. Giroud selected, hardly surprising after netting all 4 goals in the Champions League on Wednesday. He was in for Abraham, and Hartz was back. He replaced Kovacic. Leeds, well, they looked an unchanged side, really. Anyway, off we went, and Mount was immediately causing havoc. This young man has got a great fuser, and he supplied an opportunity for Giroud's header, but it went just wide. On 4 minutes, though, a breakaway by Leeds, and Bamford rounded the keeper and slotted it past Mendy, and that was 1-0 for Leeds. Mount corner then, and there was a half chance for Werner after the header. The header looked like it might be going in, but Werner decided to make the last touch counts, but unfortunately he clipped it and it hit the bar and went away to safety. It was a definite let-off for Leeds. At 27 minutes, Leeds could do nothing about a sharp finish from that Frenchman Giroud from a great cross by James. And so that was 1-1. And that was the score at the break. So to second half then, 54 minutes. A free kick. James found Harvin and his header was just over. And then 5 minutes later, a good save by Millionaire from Werner. 61 minutes, a corner. Mount delivered a peach of a corner, and Zuma was far too strong, and he headed home to put Chelsea in front by 2-1. Merlier had to be alert to foil Werner on 75 minutes, but eventually on 92, the points were secured by Chelsea, and this Werner involved, and he fed Pulisic, who'd come on as substitute, and Pulisic created some space and slotted home, and that was 3-1. To be frank, it was a thoroughly deserved win for Lampard's men, and this actually catapulted them to the top of the league. Of course, Tottenham and Liverpool are playing tomorrow. So final score at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 3, Leeds 1. Last game highlights then on Saturday was at the Etihad, Manchester City at home to Fulham. Only brief highlights here, but Fulham looking a little bit daunted by the prospect of facing Sterling, Jesus and Marquez up front. Mahrez, not Marquez. Marquez, of course, rides bikes. Never mind. The captain for Man City now appears to be De Bruyne. He led them out, and he was involved on 4 minutes with a tremendous through ball to Sterling, who managed to end his mini goal drought and put City 1 up. 24 minutes, Sterling doing some more trickery in the box. He got clipped by Anderson, a penalty kick. De Bruyne took responsibility, and basically it was 2-0. That was the score at the break. The second half, I didn't see really much of it. Fulham seem to be more competitive. They certainly tightened up at the back, but they couldn't get going forward. And basically, it played out to a fairly comfortable win for Manchester City by 2-0. This left them on the coattails of United, who have now moved up to 5th. So that's the Saturday action.